folks. I got about 15 minutes left, and the last item is to announce the GCOOS Board of Directors election results. And let me begin by saying this. The GCOOS Board of Directors elections has been a process that has evolved ever since I've been in GCOOS. I mean, I remember meetings where I knew I was up for re-election, and I'd go to the members meeting, and I had no idea if I had gotten reelected or not. And I thought, geez, wouldn't that be a little bit embarrassing if I was sitting there and I realized that I had lost the election? Well, that process changed. I remember meetings where people were deciding or trying to decide to put new members onto the board without an election at all, just by saying, well, I know so-and-so's interested. We have a vacancy now. Let's just appoint that person. And we stopped and we said, nah, that's not a best practice. So we avoided that. We prevented that from happening in the past. Now, in this election, we have, one of the reasons we bring new people into the board and to the ExCom, the executive committee, is to get fresh eyes on things that we're doing. And indeed, this time, we have gotten some input on things that could be done better, even more transparently in the process, from the nomination of candidates to run for election, to the selection, the voting methodology that we currently use, and then also to take a fresh look at what our policies are in terms of conflict of interest. Having said all that, we've had an election, okay, and we're going to talk in detail about some of these other discoveries, changes, recommended changes that we want to make either to our bylaws or the election process in general or our own internal conflict of interest guidance. We'll talk in more detail about that on Thursday. But for right now, we've had an election, and I want to share the results, and then we'll take it from there when we discuss more in detail some potential changes to the methodology on Thursday. So this year we had, and thanks to Jen for giving me the detailed information, we had 26 ballots submitted, and we have 117 eligible voters, 22% turnout. Barb, that's pretty typical, yes?
Yes, that's typical.
It's unfortunate, but it is typical. We don't get it would be nice to get up to close to 50%, but we just don't get there. And I don't know why, I don't know. We had seats in the private sector. We had voting for 2 vacancies, and those that received the most votes, Alyssa Dossman and Bill Lynch. In the private sector, let's see, the government sector, 1 seat, and that was Kate Hubbard. She was unopposed. So she is a new board member. I do not know Kate, but would welcome her to the board with the beginning of the fall meeting. Academic sector, we had one vacancy, one board member that was up for re-election. That was Nick Shea. He won unopposed. Congratulations, Nick. I expect you to have a tie on next meeting. Come on. And let's see, outreach and education sector, there was 1 seat that was voted on. Renee Collini received 100% of the votes. She was unopposed. So those are the election results. And as I said, on Thursday, we're going to get into more detail, we don't need to belabor all the detail for all the people that are participating today, but it is certainly something that as a board, we need to dissect and discuss and change where we see the possibility or the need for change. So that's that. And with that, it's almost time to close. Are there any final thoughts, comments? I'd like to thank everybody that attended today. We have 54, 55 people on the call. I think that's great. That's a great turnout. And the members' meetings, you really don't know. It's almost a function of where you're having the meeting. And we rotate the meetings in order to accommodate the broader range of stakeholders. And today was today was a very good turnout. I appreciate the presentations. I appreciate everybody paying attention and being here virtually. And if there are no other questions or comments, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Hey, Joe, I just
Vote's
have one
optional.
quick comment. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Not
Go
that I
ahead.
know everybody wants to get to their beer or their wine. I mean, in the fall meeting, we're going to try and do it in person. This discussion can go on later, but a combination possibly of a hybrid meeting where you have a combination of attendees plus people, like a Zoom sort of component to it as well, a go-to meeting, and it may increase the attendance. Just sort of a recommendation, but yeah.
It's a good idea, really. You know, we don't have to go back to all in-person meeting. I mean, this is not great. It's not ideal. And you all do this more than I do, rest assured. But that's not a bad idea to have a hybrid kind of a meeting where you will get, and there may still be travel restrictions. We don't know. And so that's not a bad idea. If we do go in person, to have the ability for folks to call in or dial in and participate virtually. Yeah, we have the technology. Yeah. All right, so I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Okay, thanks, Nick. Nick has submitted the motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second?
A second?
Thanks, Bill. Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, gang, it's a little bit of Robert's rules for you, just so you sleep well tonight. And we'll see you all on Thursday afternoon. Thanks a lot.